with friends in a restaurant in Moscow, and Ira came with, out of nowhere, with these designs. And it was, what is this? You know, there's a parallel world that was presented to me by Ira and the world that I live in, the world of Cirque du Soleil. There was immediate parallels, which of course I find interesting and stimulating. Anything that challenges me and creates any kind of flash in my brain is interesting for me. When I first met Yura a year ago in Moscow, he presented some images from Ira that he was working on, and you know, it was traditional images in Russian culture to do with, I've forgotten the name of it. Matryoshkas. There was matryoshkas, there was, what was the Father Christmas thing again?
Ded Moroz.
The Ded Moroz. What I appreciated was the designs that he showed me. I appreciated them for the aesthetic of them. Once he'd explained to me what they meant, and they were traditional things, matryoshkas obviously I know, so I loved that one first because it was so traditional. There's a transformation. If you have traditional things in a culture, those things are only relevant with a generation that learnt them at that time. With a young generation, you must reinvent them to keep a young culture interested in the old culture. So that was interesting. For me, it was one of the surprise meetings in Russia that I valued, and I'm still in contact with Yura and Ira because it's an interesting company. They reinvent as we reinvent. So yeah, interesting company. Well, I travel the world. I meet interesting people all the time. It was actually a haphazard meeting again because I was invited to Nadezhda Babkina's birthday party, which actually Ira sponsored. There was a Russian bear that Ira had produced, but done in crystal. Again, you know, a traditional image. As a foreigner looking at the Russian bear is famous. It's famous. How he transformed that and made it into a beautiful work of art. So again, there was another conversation. So life has put us in contact some way through mutual friends, and that's just why. It's not specifically going out my way. It's just Yura came into my circle, and he stayed there. And for me, he represents his company. I like the aesthetic of them, but then the full explanation of the traditions that go with each image and how they're transformed. You know, you have to open up your culture to younger people. Younger people are being bombarded with so many images from the internet that each country's culture is being diminished and diluted. So how to get something traditional and make it new and exciting for a younger audience is very, very important. That's what we do at Cirque du Soleil. That's what I think Ira did with these images that I first saw over the Just Marod project. I found it very interesting. I found it very similar to something we would do at Cirque du Soleil. I could look at those designs and want to create a show. That's how it touched me. You have to be original. That comes back to what I said originally when I first saw the designs that Yura presented to me over a year ago in Moscow. They're original. It's always about being original. By being original, you're innovative, you're new. That's it. Take an old idea, make it new. That's the road to success.